So the last show we did, CM Punk was employed by AEW. Now, that was last week. He had a job. This week he ain't got a job. How y'all feel about that?
It was all good just a week ago.
Facts. Up here at that.
It had something had to happen. Something had to happen.
Yeah, he had to go.
I don't like you at a certain point you could see Tony losing the faith of people, of the people that he employed. And before you get another CM Punk situation, you either gonna have to suspend him for a long time. But my thing was, I felt like he should have lost on television. I don't know if getting him on TV was an option, but he should have lost and then went off TV. But the suspension wasn't gonna happen. You had to either suspend him or boot his ass.
You would have had him lose at All In.
Yes, you had to.
It's crazy.
All Out. Hold on, All Out, because it happened at All In, right?
So you would have had him wrestle All Out.
Yeah. To show motherfuckers that this nigga. I would have had him wrestle, suspended him, or fired him.
Well,
I don't think he would have wanted to win. We wanted to lose, though.
That's true, but he would have.
He would have made such a stink, and that would have been worse.
If he would have made somebody said that he's supposed to be dropping comments about.
Yeah, did that happen?
If it happened, I didn't hear it, and I
don't know. At this point, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he has to say. It doesn't matter. We already got this perception of who you are, even if that's not who you are. And
everybody's on board with that.
With what?
The perception of what CM Punk is.
No, because you seeing what they were saying about Collision, the numbers for Collision when they found out that he got fired Friday. Seeing what the numbers were for Collision or the attendance,
or it might have been Saturday.
You could see that everybody wasn't on board with that feeling.
I think it was
Chicago.
I think it was announced Saturday, but they said the ratings for this past Saturday's Collision were the lowest ever. They said it was
already.
Well, it was on par with.
She ain't shit.
I'm not.
If I'm not mistaken, it was around the same. It was around the same rating that they did when Collision ran against SummerSlam, but it was lower because there was college football. There was a bunch of stuff happening this past Saturday, plus Payback and everything else. Wasn't nobody trying to watch?
I really don't think that though. I don't know if college football and all of that would have made that much of a dent alone.
You think more of that was with Payback?
I think it was Payback plus college football plus the fact that.
So you're saying that their ratings were higher?
Their ratings were higher than what they had this week. Their ratings are what they pull like 500,000 every week, right?
I'd have to go back and see. I don't think I don't think Collision ever pulled 1 million. It was in the hundreds of thousands.
Like first episodes was like 900,000,
something like that. But yeah, I don't think it was. It was never that high.
And I could be
after
wrong.
That. Yeah, I would.
It's very high.
I'd have to go check. I feel like sometimes it was pulling in like the 200, 300,000 regularly, but I'd have to go really grab the numbers. But either way, I think the bigger because I always had questions about Tony Khan and how many shows he was already booking. He's got Dynamite, he's got Rampage, he's got the ROH show, and he's got Collision as well, plus the pay-per-views. Like he was probably a madman over the last like month or so, just trying to figure out where everything goes. Now the show that was made for Punk is just going to be another AEW show. Is that a like? We don't need another AEW show, right? Like, why you got to cut one of these? I would assume.
I don't know.
I ain't got no numbers.
The numbers was online.
Let me look up the AEW Collision.
I'm not. I don't know. I don't cut. You cutting Collision?
What makes more sense, the Saturday show or the Friday show?
The Friday show.
But the Friday show was only an hour.
The Saturday show was catered for a man that's not there no more.
Right. I did see the same thing that Sean Tragedy is saying Brian Bryanson was moving into that position. But
well, he was over there. I believe he had been there for until his arm got messed up. I believe he was there already. No.
And how did he heal so fast?
He didn't.
He had some type of cast on, but it was wrapped up with like the ace bandage or whatever, because it was part of it that was coming off, and you could see there was something on his arm. Dead serious. Wait 1 sec. I got the numbers, dude. The collision numbers. So I guess that would be the debut was 816,000. Hovered
Ken
somewhere.
Lewis, stay exaggerating. Why do you exaggerate, Ken Lewis?
Yeah, Ken Lewis, what are you doing? This is what Collision's been doing. So it's never cracked 1 million. It's never beat its first week. I would assume that a lot of these bigger numbers are weeks where CM Punk is there.
Yeah, where those bumps are, which is the 22nd and the 29th. The 29th was that the night of the fight.
26th?
Maybe.
No,
29th.
Yeah, July.
Maybe.
I think that was the night of the Spence fight.
That makes sense.
I don't believe any of this, that it had anything to do with CM Punk.
To talking about Nickelback. Oh wait, actually, so that's the one question that I actually like entertaining as well.
Wait, CM Punk was always there? Are you sure? You sure, Mills? Pardon me, Cal. I'm sorry.
CM Punk was always where? Always on Collision?
You're saying he was always on.
I thought there were weeks where he wasn't on.
I thought he wasn't on those. Wasn't he?
I remember there being weeks specifically that were like, this is the first week CM Punk's not going to be on Collision.
Was he there when yeah, he was there when MJF and Adam Cole were there.
I believe so. I don't know how many episodes he hasn't been on, but I know there's been episodes where he hasn't been on.
I don't believe it. I don't believe that
Collision is a show is
any
a great
needle.
No, where were those episodes at?
The higher ones?
The first one was Chicago.
The first one was Chicago. I don't know. Week to week, I couldn't tell you where everything was.
Wasn't the first one Chicago?
This comes from Fightful. Fightful doesn't give. Yeah, the first one was Chicago. It was a United Center or whatever.
So I believe that.
No, of course, yeah. Well, that again, yeah. The debut show, the debut episode of the new show with CM Punk being in Chicago is gonna draw the people to Chicago. I mean, that part of it makes sense, but Mimi saying
at all,
he don't draw. He does not draw. If you quote unquote, this is why I don't do dirt sheets, because they kept saying Warner Brothers or CBS or whomever is giving him, they're giving them this deal for CM Punk Saturday show. The machine is behind him, and you fire him, and he's bringing in numbers. No, he was problematic a year ago. He's still problematic now to the point where nobody wants to work with him.
Right.
No, you would have not fired him if he was moving a needle. His narrative, his fan base is louder than anything.
Ain't that what you want?
No, you want money, and he's not bringing in
Ain't they
money.
getting you money?
No. Speaking loud and actually going into your pocket is two separate things. I truly believe All In or All Out, whichever one came first, those fans in that stadium came to see AEW talent. They
They
did
would have
not
came
come
to see anybody.
Yeah, I agree
right.
with that. 100%.
Period. That had nothing to do with CM Punk.
Right.
Correct.
Arthur Ashe had nothing to do with CM Punk. That was
he
oh
would
my
beg
God,
to differ, but yeah.
Arthur Ashe, we going huge. That was one of their really big pay-per-views. That was all fans wanting to go to an AEW show. What isn't that one of the longest shows that they had? That shit was like 8 hours. Like like filled to the brim.
Yeah.
No. All of the other extra stuff, nah.
Oh wow! New York Troy said Mimi's overlooking the fact that her claim depends on a presumption that Tony Khan is operating a business rather than monetizing his hobby.
That's right. I've been saying that, Troy. I've been saying that. He is a fan. He is not a booker. He with money.
He is booking as a fan. Like it's very like what was the thing that Booker T said the other day? He said Booker T said that Tony Khan is booking matches. He's not worried about the build up at all. He's just worried about putting these matches
day by
together.
Day, week by week. That's how he goes. He's not running a business. That's not a business. 4 years later, and we're still doing the same thing. To the point where this man is so problematic that who goes on national TV or whatever, national stream, and says, we terminated this man.
Nah, I respected that.
He said I was scared for my life.
I respected that.
What?
He was scared for his life.
I can't.
You can't tell this man throwing a fit, throwing monitors and all this shit going on backstage through this guy into a whole reverse chinlock or whatever. He stood there looking at it like this, like, what the fuck is going on?
You remember that scrum? You remember the scrum where he looked like he literally feared for his life and could not speak?
I mean,
no, I looked like him. I looked like him during this.
I look like him. It's funny.
That motherfucker was just like this.
Right. And couldn't say nothing. Could you imagine?
No, he be looking so
doing that shit next to Triple H.
Now look at him. He be looking so dejected. Look at him.
Look at him beat you up. That's a difference. Like Triple H, you gonna have to tussle with that big motherfucker.
He looked like, oh my God, what has my life become with this man? Jeez. My life is over. He looked like he was emotionally hijacked.
Yo, he looked like me when I get my credit card statement.
he looked like you when you realize that they're not going to serve you with chalupa.
No, like
he looked like me when somebody tells me I can't have crabs. Okay, you telling me I can't have crabs?
God damn! Now he should have. I'm of the mindset that this should have happened last year.
Yes.
I feel like I may have even said it last year.
But that wasn't all his fault. Allegedly.
It's math. Math.
I don't know.
Math.
I don't fucking know.
Listen, I don't know if your job does like department-wide get-togethers, but let's say there was it was a function. Y'all did well at the function, but after the function, not you, but somebody like your coworker scrap with like 3 of the supervisors. Not like they just started fight. Like he went to their room
and got it cracking
and started scrapping. If that coworker was CM Punk, this would be like that would happen. They would get some time out, and then they would be given like a corner office.
Are those legit? Are those positions legit?
Them being EVPs?
Yes.
I believe let's go to the All Elite Wrestling. I don't know if it's listed on the website or not, but they're still they're EVPs. I don't think you can take those titles away from him.
I don't know, Big Mike, and I don't know, Cal, because we're dealing with a combat sport. I figured that we can handle this with combat, nigga.
Thank you. I think, but it's still, if we're talking about it being
In
a
the
business,
office. In the office.
It's a business. This wasn't in the ring.
We whip each other ass all the time.
If we
figuring we can settle this.
This is the difference. If me and you had beef and we fought live on YouTube, we should get in trouble because YouTube don't want that. But if we took it off YouTube and said we're gonna settle this like some grown men, mano a mano, high noon, or whatever the fuck.
Are we shooting?
I didn't say that. But I'm saying
that's murder.
I was just talking about the time of day. I ain't got a 6-shooter. Like, I wasn't talking about all that. But there's certain ways to handle this stuff. And I'm still of the mind that I don't think the dude that stepped to the EVPs and started scrapping with them should have been able to come back, let alone get their own TV show.
That's right.
It sets a bad precedent.
Should Draymond Green have gotten fired?
What'd he do? He punched somebody, right?
His teammate. That nigga got a new contract.
But he didn't fight his boss. He didn't disrespect his
That's a
boss.
good point. That's a good point.
But are those positions legit?
Aren't they on the website?
I don't know.
Are there 10K?
It didn't hold up. We're on the website where it lists the fucking EVPs.
They're not public, so it might not be.
Like, if a nigga getting stabbed with a fork on television, I figure I can stab his ass backstage.
It's a business. I don't think you can do that. They don't list their hierarchy and even the bucks. The bucks on the
public,
site,
so they don't have to.
Yeah, it doesn't specifically say any of that.
But if they are like in the books as
executives? No, yeah, it definitely says executive vice president on the site. Yeah, no, 100%.
Okay, so they're part of management. That's an executive team, and you decided you wanted to thump with the executive team.
Who marched to whose room?
They said Punk walked to them. That's an executive vice president. Yeah.
Does that look like somebody that's gonna step to somebody?
Are you sure? Look what brother Troy from the NYC said. The EVP stepped to Punk.
I heard it was the other way around. Why would they have stepped to him? Because of what he said at the scrum?
Yeah, I guess.
Rightfully so, though. Rightfully so.
But outside of that, the chronology says that Punk threw the first punch, right?
Or somebody got bit. I don't fucking
just know. Like, no, hold on. Somebody did get bit, but I think his man's bit Kenny Omega. But Punk threw the first punch, just like Punk was the instigator in this Jack Perry situation.
Was he the instigator?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm riding with Punk on this shit.
Jack Perry did the shit on TV. CM Punk said, Punk, I'll kick your ass. That's what started it.
But you said it on TV.
He didn't say I'll fight you on TV. He said, and you had to be a regular person not reading the dirt sheets to know what the fuck that was about. You had to be in them dirt sheets to know anything about Real Glass, who he would be talking to, any of it. I knew it. We knew it.
I know.
Some 10-year-old kid that's not reading Wrestling Inc. or whatever site don't know nothing about this.
Oh shit! I'll give you that.
They don't talk about it on TV.
So Punk wrong all the way around.
Punk has been instigating a lot of this.
Mm-hmm.
He instigated the stuff with Adam Page.
Punk was never in it for the greater good of wrestling. He was in it to stick it to the other side. That's what he was in it for.
Perry came at Punk, but Punk was the one that said, I could beat you, right? Every story I've read has said that.
I'm with that.
If I'm not mistaken, Perry was coming back from the match and Punk was there already pissed off.
It's a good fight. I mean, it's pro wrestling. We're supposed to be able to duke this shit out.
Not in Gorilla.
What
Not
better place?
in the ring, which is what kills me about all this. It could if CM Punk, because a couple of things he stood on was, I'm here about business, and I'm here to help put these young cats over.
Correct. Which he put no one over.
He put no. If we were about business, why wouldn't he be trying to turn this Jack Perry situation into some big money at Revolution or Full Gear or whatever the hell?
That was after the Jack Perry shit. Was after the nigga didn't get a ride to the arena. After the bullshit with the Bucks, Mo and Joe Buck.
And I'm with him with the ride to the arena. That wasn't right. If that's supposed to be your number one dude, he should be. His travel should be taken care of.
Yeah, it was Bert,
but he's not.
He's stupid.
He's not your number one dude.
He's not your number one guy.
I don't know. I would have to go into the minutia of all the reports, to be honest with you, Troy. From I was reading the reports all last week though, and everything that I saw was when it came to physicality, Punk was the instigator. And but let me ask a question, and I'm not trying to be funny. Mm-hmm. Troy, anybody in the chat, anybody who's on the, if Punk wasn't the instigator, if Punk wasn't the one to be deemed to be the biggest wrong, why the hell is he not in the company anymore?
Right.
Because it's a whole. He's causing the most. He's getting the most heat for this shit. If somebody else was getting the heat, they would be gone. So then his name is the biggest.
So then why are we trying to split hairs on who shot first and who was beefing with who and whatnot? If all things go back to Punk, what difference does any of that make? Because at the end of the day, if we're talking about the business, it sounds like he's very bad for business. And Warner Brothers Discovery or whoever were the ones that said, look, we got to get this guy out of here. They said he's not working. It's not going to work.
That's right.
That don't make him wrong.
Because it's not a company, it's a hobby. Troy, you hit the nail right on the head.
I don't think the nigga was wrong.
CM Punk?
You don't think CM Punk was wrong?
I don't think he was wrong for choking up Jack Perry.
Why?
Because some of these little motherfuckers need to be taught a fucking lesson. Like they get to talking, like it goes back to what we was talking about before the show started.
Well, maybe he had legitimate beef.
So you think that you can say this shit on television and say, it's just a work.
No, but wait,
get over as a heel.
But wait, because Punk does the same thing. Punk was the one making comments about Adam Page a while ago.
And I'm okay with Adam Page dotting his I.
Okay.
I'm cool with that.
But they wouldn't let him.
That's what comes with, and
he wouldn't let him.
That's just a part of how it goes. Okay, when I see you, they wouldn't let him in the building, right?
They wouldn't let him in the building.
Cool. When we get the opportunity, we're gonna get it shaking, and I assume Punk would be okay with that.
He talked like he was when he came back. When he came back to Collision, that first promo he cut, he was talking about, I'm here for business and all that. He was ready to work, he was saying.
Let me potato a motherfucker, and then we can get back to what it is. Mm-hmm. You let these motherfuckers run wild, which he had a point.
Who? Punk.
CM Punk. Mm-hmm. He like, you let these motherfuckers talk fly shit, and then when I'm talking fly shit, I get suspended because I'm you know what I mean? We're gonna get it shaken like they did in the olden days, right? Which comes with that we feel I feel comes with pro wrestling. You get shaken.
But man,
I'm listening.
You know the thing about the old days. They the old days,
and that's why shit is the way it is now.
That's it's most indicative in AEW right now. That's a company. I don't think everybody's like Jack Perry, but there's a Jack Perry, there's an MJF. I think there's Darby Allin. There's a lot of people who kind of are moving the way they want to move, and they're not falling in line. It seems like a lot of people would have been falling in line in WCW or WWE locker rooms back in the 90s or what have you. It's a different era, and these kids are not here, especially if all they see about the guy who's supposed to be the OG in the locker room is beef with Paige and beef with this one and beef with the EVPs. Like why would I want to be led by that man?
Right.
Let me ask Mimi a question. Mimi, would anybody have known if they would have gotten to a tussle backstage in the WWE?
No. It would have been hearsay.
It's fact.
It wouldn't have been, this actually happened.
Would it have been business as usual?
It would have.
So we're trying to say that it's wrong that CM Punk gets his shaking over here, or is it wrong that he got a shaking and somebody found out?
It's wrong that his boss confirmed that he got a shaking.
So the boss is wrong. I know it wasn't Punk.
He was always wrong. No. Punk wrong too.
Punk
because
is
he
wrong.
created a toxic work environment. Regardless, nobody wanted to fuck with him. Nobody wanted to fuck with him. Nobody. So how do you move forward when people don't want to fuck with you?
I'm with you. We can go down to MCW and get you booked for $175 and fight everybody in it, bitch.
EC3 said our locker room was professional. He said, come to NWA.
That man is trying to go to WWE. He snuck in the parking lot. Remember?
In the parking lot. He was in the parking lot with Tamina.
He ain't trying to go nowhere. He ain't trying to go to no other place.
Hold on, Mac. You're right about this. Sorry, Mimi. I'm sorry. I think that Starks was the only person. I'm sorry.
Semantics, Troy. Okay, not everybody. Of course, not everybody didn't like him because a couple of people tweeted some bullshit. But the majority, he's toxic. Period.